Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Dark Dialogue Shadow Chat Sessions. I am your host, John.
Oh, no man's one. I was already laughing because I was expecting that.
And this is the show where we just talk about a bunch of shit that doesn't really matter. Dumb shit, weird shit, dipshits, all this shits. And like you always say something about the points and doesn't matter and all that thing. And yep, that's this show. None of it really freaking matters, but it's fun.
Love it anyway.
It helps us wind down after we cover the crazy freaking terrible shit that we have to talk about. And then we're able to come and talk about a bunch of shit that just doesn't really matter and makes us laugh and have a good time and lightens the mood. So I love these episodes, and we'll keep recording them no matter what because they're just fun to do. So
It's therapy at this point.
it is definitely therapy at this point. Yep. And hopefully it is for our listeners too. Hopefully they get to just relax and laugh and, you know, make fun of shit
What
too.
crazy nonsense will they come up with?
Exactly. So with that said, do you want to jump into it?
Sure.
All right. Well,
Can I take the bear?
yeah, you can take the bear.
Okay, good, because I'm not. No.
I don't expect you to let him go. So we'll start with our strange headline segment. Babysitter checks for monsters under the bed, finds a real one instead.
This is why I don't babysit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A Kansas babysitter tried to comfort a child who insisted a monster was hiding under the bed, only to come face to face with an actual grown man who was not supposed to be in the house, legally or morally. A struggle broke out, a child got knocked over, and what began as a bedtime routine turned into a live-action horror movie with court documents. It started like every classic kid bedtime scene. Pajamas, teeth brushing, and one stubborn little voice insisting that a monster was under the bed. The babysitter, doing what babysitters have done since the invention of bedtime, bent down to prove that the room was clear, except this time the kid wasn't wrong. According to the Barton County Sheriff's Office, when the babysitter lifted the bed skirt to show the child there were no monsters, she instead looked into the eyes of a 27-year-old man who was very much alive, very much not supposed to be there, and very much violating a protection from abuse order.
Oh,
Authorities later confirmed he had once lived in the residence, but had been explicitly barred from returning. He had already posted bond 10 days earlier for charges including criminal threat, domestic battery, and violating a protection order connected to earlier incidents. The babysitter understandably panicked. The man lunged, a chaotic struggle broke out, and one of the children was knocked over. The suspect fled before deputies arrived because apparently hiding under a bed doesn't make you fast, it just makes you sneaky. The next morning, deputies spotted him in the area. After a short foot pursuit, which absolutely sounds like it involved him running barefoot through at least 1 yard, he was arrested on a buffet of new charges: aggravated kidnapping, aggravated burglary, aggravated battery, child endangerment, felony obstruction, violation of a protection order. He currently sits in jail on a $500,000 bond, proving once again that crime is expensive, but stupidity is priceless. His name is not being released by NPR pending confirmation of formal charges, but the courts definitely know who he is. My take? Kids always think there's a monster under the bed. Turns out Kansas said, say less. This dude is out here auditioning for Paranormal Activity 9 Deadbeat Returns. Hiding under a child's mattress is like Clarence Ben cryptid. Imagine being a babysitter thinking it's just a shadow or maybe a toy, and instead you find Surprise Man, who's on a speed run to collect every felony in the Midwest. Honestly, at this point, Kansas should just replace the state motto with Ad Astra, per Adrenaline Rush. So,
I feel like I watched this on a body cam video, so I don't think that it's all by itself in this category.
you watched what on a body
I
cam video?
feel like I watched a babysitter check under the bed,
Oh, no,
find
there's
somebody.
way more of these stories
Yeah.
out there. Yeah, this is not the
I
only time.
Totally think I just watched a body cam video on this.
Yeah,
Anyway,
this is not the only time it's happened.
No.
It's just the most recent, I guess. So if you check under the bed and actually find a monster, does that kid get bragging rights for life?
Yes.
Asking for future therapists.
100%.
Oh, hell yeah. And he's probably never, ever going to sleep in his
Yeah.
own bed again,
Yeah.
ever
And
either.
you owe him a pony.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
pony is that
Mhm.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's
That's the
payoff.
going rate for it.
That's the
Yeah.
payoff amount.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the plan here? Step 1, hide under the bed. Step 2, step
Why'd you take your shoes off? You're gonna have to run.
step 3, go to jail.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So do we add check for ex-boyfriends under the bed to the babysitter job description,
Yes.
or is that above the pay grade?
Yes. No, well, it might be above the pay grade, but yeah, it should be added, I think, now.
I mean, could
Especially-
you imagine this
God.
poor freaking babysitter? You're like, oh, I'll show you. There's no, oh my God, there's somebody under the bed.
Yeah.
I mean,
And Johnny Depp's famous line, there'll be no living with her after this,
yeah.
because she was right.
Yep.
Or he was right. Or somebody was right.
All right. You ready for the conspiracy corner?
Yeah.
Prince Charles is a vampire. The royal pain in the neck theory.
Wonderful.
Some conspiracy theorists insist that Prince Charles, yes, now King Charles III, is secretly a vampire. The theory claims he's descended from Vlad the Impaler. His relatives with sun-sensitive medical conditions, and spends an unusual amount of time in old castles. None of this proves anything, but it is exactly the kind of beautifully unhinged theory that the internet refuses to let die. The internet has produced many outlandish theories, but few are as persistent, theatrical, and unintentionally hilarious as the belief that Prince Charles is an immortal vampire walking quietly among us, sipping tea instead of blood, and haunting the grounds of royal estates with SPF 10,000 sunscreen. The idea first gained traction when royal genealogists noted that Charles is distantly related to Vlad the Impaler, the 15th century Wallachian ruler who inspired Bram Stoker's fictional Count Dracula. Technically, a lot of people in European ancestry can make that similar geological claim.
Yep.
But conspiracy theorists aren't exactly sticklers for statistical nuance. The next proof was a medical connection. Several royal family members over the centuries reportedly suffered from porphyria, a genetic blood disorder that can trigger photosensitivity. Some forms of porphyria can make skin blister in sunlight, which to the internet translates directly to, yes, vampire, case closed. Theorists also cite the famously long lives of certain royals as evidence, as if Charles making it into his 70s is somehow suspicious and not just the byproduct of endless money, unlimited healthcare, chefs preparing every meal, and the stress-free lifestyle of being followed by paparazzi for 6 decades.
Mhm.
The theory pops up in tabloids every few years, usually with the same recycled points. Charles avoids the sun sometimes. He's a vampire. Charles owns properties in Transylvania. He's a vampire. Charles has good posture and pale skin. He's a vampire. Charles has lived through 14 prime ministers. He's eternal vampire prince, obviously. Of course, there is zero actual evidence he's undead, sleeping in coffins, or turning into a bat to avoid rush hour traffic in London. But that hasn't stopped conspiracy forums from insisting that Charles's alleged longevity, castle-loving personality, and genetic ties to historical villains must mean something supernatural. In reality, Charles has spent years involved with Transylvanian conservation projects, which fuels the theory even more, because nothing attracts conspiracy people like a historic region with a vampire brand strong enough to be a theme park. My take? Let's be honest. If Prince Charles were a vampire, he'd be the most politely British one imaginable. Like, pardon me, terribly sorry,
Mhm.
but may I have a small sip of your blood?
Yeah.
Just a thimble's worth.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Just a taste.
And the idea that he's immortal because he's related to Vlad the Impaler, buddy, half of Ancestry.com users are too. If having one cranky medieval warlord in your family tree makes you a vampire, then Thanksgiving is about to get really weird for a lot of people. Also, porphyria doesn't make you undead. It makes you wish hats were wider. But hey, if Charles is secretly a vampire, honestly, that would explain the ears.
You have gone and figured me out.
Which part?
If I had access to a castle, that's where I would be.
Yeah.
I have villains in my ancestry, and I have porphyria. 100% I must be a vampire.
Well, you are a vampire, duh.
Well, I didn't know that until just now.
Duh, you're the undead.
Fine.
So, if Charles is a vampire, does that make Buckingham Palace the world's most aggressively carpeted crypt?
I think so.
I think so too.
And I would like to tour it someday.
Yeah, I would like to tour it too. Don't see that in my future, though. Could the royal family, and especially after this episode airs, could the royal family...
Let's go before we air it.
Oh, we gotta go quick then.
Yeah.
Could the royal family, maybe the royals will have us for Thanksgiving.
Then I won't have to cook. Yes.
There you go.
But I am not all about blood pudding. Oh no, that's also part of vampire.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Could the royal family end half their scandals by saying, relax, he's nocturnal?
Exactly.
Right?
It's just a vampire. Scandal done.
If the king turned into a bat and flew away during a press conference, would BBC call it breaking news or just Tuesday at the palace?
Tuesday at the palace. It's always a Tuesday.
I agree.
It's always a Tuesday. But does that also explain why the guards can stand so still and are just...
That they're vampires?
Moving, yeah.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't
Gonna
think so.
burst my bubble? How rude. Okay.
It's not just their guards. Our guards do the same thing.
Yeah,
They just don't dress like that.
theirs are better at not moving than ours are.
They're not.
I don't know that ours has the...
Ever seen the guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've seen him pace.
Yeah, they do. But so do the beefeaters or whatever they're called. That's what they're called, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive that's what they're called.
Okay.
The dudes in the big, tall, black hats.
Yeah.
Beefeaters. I'm pretty sure that's what they're
Okay.
called. All right. You ready for the Reddit rabbit hole?
Sure thing.
The man who appears in all my childhood photos, but no one knows him.
Why do I feel like I'm going to know this?
A Redditor discovered an old family album and noticed something chilling. The same unknown man appearing in the background of photos spanning more than a decade across multiple states, holidays, and family events. Neither the poster nor any family member recognized him. The thread exploded into a massive rabbit hole of theories, from stalker to forgotten family friend to glitch in the matrix to time traveler. This rabbit hole began innocently. A Redditor found a dusty box of childhood photo albums while helping their parents clean out a garage. Like many people in their 20s or 30s, they flipped through old birthday photos, school events, beach trips, barbecues, nostalgic, harmless stuff.
All the memories.
Then they noticed him, a man standing behind the family at a 4th of July picnic. A man 3 rows back at a school play. A man walking a dog behind them at Disney World. A man sitting on a bench in a winter vacation photo, staring directly at the camera. The same man, the same face, the same age range, the same neutral expression. Never interacting with anyone, never close, but always there. The poster confronted their family, expecting someone to say, "Oh yeah, that's Uncle Todd before the divorce," or "That's one of Dad's coworkers." Instead, every answer was, "I've never seen that man before in my life." The thread on our Unsolved Mysteries spiraled into thousands of comments. People analyzed each photo the user uploaded. The man's clothes changed, but his age didn't. His positioning was always background but visible. Some users thought the photo looked like he was intentionally framed, as if he stepped into view at the exact right moment. Someone even used facial recognition tools and found no match, which somehow made the thread even creepier. The user insisted that the photos were taken in different states, far apart from each other: Kansas, Colorado, Missouri, Texas, no overlapping events, no shared acquaintances. The theories got wild, but the realistic ones rose to the top. One, a long-term stalker. Some believe the man may have been following the family for reasons unknown, but doing so inconspicuously enough that no one noticed him in real time. Creepy, but plausible. A forgotten friend of the parents. Maybe someone who attended events, lingered in crowds, or joined road trips. Memory is unreliable after all. 3, a neighbor or a church member who kept showing up. The coincidental background character theory. 4, a time traveler, dimensional slip entity. Because Reddit cannot resist a supernatural solution when a practical one is plausible. 5, the liminal man theory. A small but vocal subset believe the man represents a, quote, background NPC, end quote, a filler person who appears in multiple unrelated memories due to some flaw in the simulation. What made the thread iconic was the update. The user scanned more boxes of photos, and the man appeared in even more locations: at a zoo, a cousin's wedding, a school field trip, and an airport terminal. Never speaking, never interacting, never aging. No definitive answer ever surfaced, and the user eventually stopped updating. The mystery remains one of Reddit's most unsettling rabbit holes, not because it's supernatural, but because it feels like it could happen to anyone who starts flipping through old family photos. My take? You ever look at your childhood photos and think, wow, I miss simpler times? Well, this Redditor said, I miss simpler times, and who the hell is that man? Imagine finding out your entire upbringing had a background extra. Some dude wandering through your life like he lost a bet with the universe and had to photobomb one family for a decade straight. If this guy was a stalker, he was committed. If he was a time traveler, he was terrible at subtlety. And if he was a glitch in the Matrix, honestly, he deserves a patch update. Also, if he never aged in 10 plus years of photos, that isn't paranormal, that's moisturizer.
And he employed a dog to do it with him.
Apparently so. So, if you found a stranger in every childhood photo, would you call the police or your therapist first?
Well, I have a therapist on speed dial, so probably him.
Right.
But then family members like this person did. But I need to know more. I'm intrigued.
Dig into it. There's a whole freaking thread you can dig through.
I think I have to.
So is this man a stalker, a ghost, a glitch, or just someone with the worst sense of personal space in history?
I lost a terrible bet. A terrible one.
I don't
Your
even.
penance is to follow this family around for 87 years.
I don't even know what the hell to say about this. I honestly
either.
don't even know what to say.
That's why I want to dig into it. Because
Freaking weird.
I want to make sure, by my eyes, it does look like the same person. It does look like the person doesn't age. I want to make sure.
Well, you report back to us.
I'm going to, because
I got enough on my plate. This fits perfectly on yours.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. Mm-hmm. So should families start adding random photo man checks to their holiday traditions?
Yes.
Apparently so.
Okay, everybody look around. Make sure it's only us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a weird freaking story.
It's very weird.
That's why it.
And I dig it.
That's why it's on this show.
I dig it a lot.
You ready for the Reddit rabbit hole?
We just did that. That's not what we're doing.
You ready for the Dipshit's Diary?
Sure.
Dipshit Diaries.
The robber who left his phone number because crime is hard.
Aw.
In one of the most hilariously incompetent crimes in modern history, 18-year-old Ruben Zarate attempted to rob a Chicago muffler shop, only to realize the money he wanted was locked in a safe that only the manager could open. Instead of cutting his losses, he left his actual cell phone number with the employees so that they could call him when the manager got in.
Oh my.
They did, after calling the police first. It's not often that you see a crime story where the suspect essentially creates his own arrest warrant using nothing but optimism and a Motorola flip phone. But Ruben Zarate decided to redefine what it means to be thoroughly unprepared criminal. In March of 2008, Zarate walked into a Chicago muffler shop armed with a gun and demanded cash. The employees complied to a point. They handed over the small amount available in the register, but explained that the majority of the store's money was kept in a safe that only the manager could open. And the manager not scheduled to arrive for several more hours. That is the moment where most criminals reassess their life choices. Maybe they leave. Maybe they pick a different target. Maybe they take up pottery, but not Zarate. Instead, in an act of criminal innovation or severe brain fog, he gave the employee his personal cell phone number and told him to, quote, call him when the manager showed up, end quote. That's right. He left traceable, verifiable, police-ready contact information in the middle of an armed robbery. And as soon as he left, the employees did exactly what you'd expect. Called the police, who immediately set up a plan. Then they called Zarate, politely informing him that the manager was in and ready. Zarate returned to the shop like he was coming to pick up curbside groceries. What he did not expect was a squad of officers waiting for him. Realizing things had gone wrong, shockingly, he engaged in a brief shootout with the police before being arrested. No officers or employees were injured, but Zarate took a non-fatal shot to the leg, ending his brief career as Chicago's least stealthy criminal. He was charged with armed robbery, aggravated assault, and attempted murder for firing at the police. The cell number? Still active at the time of his arrest. Of course it was. My take? This man tried to schedule a robbery like it was a dentist appointment. Yeah, hey, it's Ruben, just checking to see when the safe guy will be in. I've got a gun and a tight schedule. He left his phone number, his real one.
Yeah.
The one tied to his name, address, and probably his MySpace account. This wasn't robbery. This was a cry for help from someone who absolutely needed a guidance counselor. So, should police start letting criminals book their arrests like restaurant reservations? Hi, party of one, table and holding?
Yeah.
I think so. If you give a business your number during a robbery, does that count as signing up for text alerts?
Do it.
I think so. What was Robin planning to do if the manager asked for a 2-hour window like the cable company? I mean, this guy takes the lead from the dumbasses that drew their masks on with magic marker. I think this guy takes the lead.
He makes me want to get a dirt button now and to add to our bullshit button.
Yeah, it's I got nothing on this. Nothing. Dipshit Diaries number 2, the nail salon robbery where nobody cared enough to be robbed.
Okay. Interesting.
So I got a video for you to watch. Here.
Oh.
A man attempted to rob a nail salon in Atlanta by yelling for everyone to get down and hand over their money. The problem? No one cared. Customers stared at him, utterly unfazed, until he eventually became so discouraged by the collective apathy that he walked out in defeat. He managed to grab one cell phone on the way out, but police later recovered it. The suspect remains at large and deeply embarrassed.
I love this. I don't love that it happened, but I love.
Oh no, it's pretty great.
That they were all just like, what?
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Not sponsored, by the way. Is he friends with Robin? Should he have left his phone number for them to, when they come to and realize they were being robbed, to call him?
Who? What? I don't know what you're talking about.
The other guy.
The other guy.
Yeah, the robber guy who was waiting for the manager.
Oh, that moron.
So they're friends. He's just going to leave his phone number for them for when they come to realize they were being robbed so they can call him back when they're ready to be robbed. Bad joke.
Well, you might be onto something there.
Bad joke.
Okay. So the description is And for the listeners out there, sorry to bore the crap out of you, but the video is out there available on YouTube. You can watch it. But Atlanta police released security footage of what may be the least successful robbery attempt in American history, and possibly the first one to be defeated by pure, concentrated disinterest. The video begins with a man entering a nail salon with his hand inside a bag, presumably in an attempt to make it look like he had a weapon. He loudly commands, "Everybody get down, give me all your money." The reaction? Absolute silence. Zero movement, a room full of people looking at him like he just interrupted their meditation class. One woman casually glances up from her chair, and with the same energy as someone noticing a burnt out light bulb, a man near the counter doesn't even blink. Another customer keeps scrolling on her phone like the Wi-Fi is more threatening than he is. It's the robbery equivalent of yelling fire in a library and having someone whisper. After a few fruitful seconds of demanding compliance, the would-be robber approaches a woman sitting near the front. She is the only one who actually stands up, but she does not give him money. She just slowly backs out the door like she's exiting a weird conversation at Thanksgiving. Frustrated and confused, the suspect pauses, looks around the room, and seems to realize in real time that this is going exactly nowhere. The customers remain completely still, unimpressed, immovable, and apparently immune to threats made by a man with his hand in a crumble cookies bag. Finally, the robber admits defeat with the energy of someone giving up on a diet by noon. He takes one last look around and walks out. He does manage to swipe the phone from the woman who backed out, but police later recovered it. No other items were taken, no injuries were reported, and no one even messed up their manicure. The suspect remains unidentified, likely because police are having trouble describing the crime. Suspect attempted robbery, but was ignored into oblivion.
Yeah.
My take? You picked the wrong place to rob when your threat level doesn't even register a mild inconvenience. The customers acted like he was the guy trying to sell them cable service at Walmart. The dude walked into a salon expecting fear, chaos, screams, and instead got a room full of people who were like, "Sir, we are busy. Leave us alone. We're exfoliating." Honestly, the saddest part is watching him realize he has absolutely zero authority. It's like watching a balloon deflate in real time.
Yeah.
This wasn't a robbery. It was a group confidence workshop for everyone except him. So, is it still a robbery if no one acknowledges it?
No.
Does crime need an
By
audience for it to
definition,
count?
one person has to acknowledge it at least.
I think probably you're right.
Yeah.
Should nail salons be classified as emotional fortresses since apparently nothing can shake the people inside
Yes.
them?
It's all that acetone. They were like, what?
Yeah. I mean, it's a hilarious video. It's so freaking funny. Does this man now avoid salons for life, or does he book a manicure hoping it'll help his self-esteem?
I'm pretty sure he avoids. He's probably pretty sullen now.
I think probably so. All right, so the next Dipshit Diaries, the car thief who got locked inside the car he tried to steal.
Wonderful.
A suspected car thief in South Africa broke into a parked vehicle using a jamming device, only for the car's auto lock system to activate and trap him inside. He spent nearly 2 hours stuck in the vehicle, begging passerbys for help until the owner returned and freed him. Police promptly arrested him, completing one of the most self-defeating crimes in recent memory. Not all crimes are created equal. Some are bold, some are clever, and some are so catastrophically stupid that nature itself intervenes. Such was the case in Pretoria, where a would-be car thief discovered that modern technology has no patience for amateurs. According to the Star newspaper, the man targeted a parked car near the North Gauteng High Court, an ambitious choice considering the number of police officers, lawyers, and security personnel roaming the area. Using a jamming device, he managed to interfere with the locking signal, allowing him to open the door and climb inside. That's where his luck ended. The car's auto lock system reactivated, sealing the doors. The thief was inside. Suddenly, he was no longer a criminal in motion. He was a criminal in captivity. Witnesses watched as the man realized he was trapped. The panic set in quickly. He tried the locks, he tried the handles, he tried shouting through the windows. He even told passerbys that he was a quote car guard, hoping someone would believe him enough to help. No one did. But they did call the police, who, in a rare change of pace, didn't even need to chase the suspect. They simply walked up, stared at him through the window, and waited for the rightful owner to return with the key. For over 90 minutes, the suspect sat inside the car like a goldfish in a bowl, making awkward eye contact with total strangers who tried not to laugh too loudly. When the owner finally arrived and unlocked the door, the police immediately arrested him, likely the easiest arrest of their careers. Beyond the comedy, the story reflects a larger issue. South Africa loses an estimated 8.5 billion rand worth of vehicles annually to theft, with nearly a third being smuggled across borders and the rest cloned and resold. But every industry, even crime syndicates, has its weak links, and this guy was one of them. My take? This man got trapped by a car he was trying to steal. I mean, that's divine intervention. Imagine breaking into a vehicle and then immediately realizing the vehicle is broken into you. He spent almost 2 hours locked inside, staring at people like a zoo exhibit. Here we see the lesser South African dumbass in his natural habitat, the driver's seat. Even the cops didn't bother rushing. They knew he wasn't going anywhere. At that point, they could have stopped for ice cream first. So,
Staring Contest Finals 2025.
Exactly. If your car traps a thief inside, does that count as an anti-theft feature or a free entertainment package?
Both, and I think you should charge more.
I agree 100%.
And I really hope that it was really freaking hot there.
Yeah, me too. Really hot.
Yeah.
Should car manufacturers start naming these systems? Introducing the 2025 Ford Escape, unless you're stealing it.
Yes, I can see it now. Sponsor us, Ford. We'll write it for you.
So what do you even talk about with police after they open the door? Hey guys,
Hi.
Funny story.
Yeah, so I'm a car guard.
I'm a car guard, whatever the hell that is.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe that's a South African
I
thing?
don't know.
I don't know. But with that, are you ready for our weird shit section?
It gets weirder.
Weird shit.
Yeah, and this one, I'm going to try my best to pronounce it, but I don't know if it's right or not.
Jabba Fofi?
Jabba Fofi,
That's
the
what I-
giant man-eating spider of the Congo.
Oh, fun.
Deep in the rainforest of Central
Is
Africa,
that a deer?
that is eating?
Yes,
Or like I don't know, some African deer thing. I don't know.
the equivalent. Okay.
So, deep in the rainforest of Central Africa, locals tell stories of a massive spider known as Jabba Fofi, a cryptid said to reach a leg span of 5 to 8 feet, capable of killing small antelope, spraying noxious fluid, weaving massive webs, and even attacking humans. No scientific evidence exists, but the legends persist across generations. The Jabba Fofi, sometimes called the Congo giant spider, which is a hell of a lot easier to say, has been part of Central African oral tradition for decades, possibly centuries. Unlike Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster, which at least involve creatures people might want to see, the Jabba Fofi is the nightmare scenario. A spider so large it can block a trail, flatten small wildlife, and allegedly chase people through the jungle. Descriptions generally say juveniles are yellow, adults turn dark brown, leg spans can reportedly reach 5 to 8 feet, with some hunters claiming even larger. They move quickly, leap horizontally, and lurk in burrow-like nests under large roots. Villagers describe enormous webs stretched across jungle paths low to the ground, big enough to trap animals like small antelope or warthogs. The spider waits nearby, hidden in foliage and underground tunnels. When prey becomes entangled, it rushes out and delivers a venomous, supposedly lethal bite. According to legend, early explorers and missionaries encountered them too. One 1930s account claims a pair of missionaries nearly stumbled into a giant web. only to watch a massive brown spider rush out, sending them backpedaling in terror. Skeptics argue these accounts likely stem from exaggerated memories, misidentified tarantulas, or simple fear-fueled storytelling. But the legends persist, supported by hunters claiming their dogs disappeared in the massive webs, overgrown trails with mysterious, impossibly large silken strands, burrows too big for any known local spider species, and natives refusing to travel certain areas after dark. And of course, there are the stories that hikers repeat but scientists politely ignore, the ones involving human fatalities, though those are impossible to verify. Researchers suggest the sightings may actually be giant baboon spiders, which can reach 10 inches, forest tarantulas, monkey nests resembling webbing, bush yarns passed down and exaggerated. But eyewitnesses remain firm. No, they insist, this is something else. Whether real, exaggerated, or a collective phobia turned into folklore, the Jabafofi is one of Africa's most terrifying cryptids and the worst possible thing to run into without a flamethrower and a therapist. My take? Nope. Absolutely not. Hard pass. If I'm hiking in the jungle and I see a spider with a leg span bigger than my hopes and dreams, I'm leaving the entire continent. A 5-foot spider? That is not a cryptid. That is a lawsuit against God. And people say it can leap. Buddy, if an 8-foot spider leaps at me, I am discovering new Olympic sprint times I didn't know my body was capable of. This is one cryptid I don't need the proof for. The legend alone is enough to ruin my week.
So Mothman shouldn't bring this one to see you.
Hell no.
Okay.
Oh, hell no.
So I've decided you finally found a cryptid I don't want to exist simply because of the 5 people in my house, I'm one of 2 that have been voted to kill the spiders, and I don't want to fight that thing.
I am not taking on a freaking 8-foot spider. I'm out, man. I am out.
I don't have any flamethrowers. I think I need some now. And I thought Australia was bad.
Yeah, apparently it's got nothing on the Congo.
Apparently they're just like,
So this is, you hadn't heard of this one?
No, and I am okay with it being wrong. Because I don't want to have to kill that one.
So if you saw a 5-foot spider, would you A, run, B, cry, or C, ascend into the astral plane?
F all of the above?
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about this thing, except, nope, not me.
Yeah.
Why
Burn it down.
Why do cryptids always have terrifying abilities? Why can't we have a giant spider that just bakes muffin or does taxes?
Right? You can reach the high places. Dust.
Yeah, right? So if Jabafofi is real, who's volunteering to get the first photo, and why is it definitely not me?
Because you're busy with Mothman.
Yeah, I'll take Mothman over this freaking thing any day. I don't know, man. You can't reason with spiders.
No.
Like, even like grizzly bears and shit, there's a chance that they'll have mercy on you. Like, you know, you hear these stories about like children being raised by them and stuff like that. And bears can be fun and playful. Spiders, they don't have any of that. No. They're going to kill you and eat you. That's it. That's all.
Unless you're Hagrid.
Well, I'm not Hagrid, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. Oh.
But those stories do remind me of the forest in The Princess Bride.
The ROUSs? Rodents of unusual sizes?
Yeah, and remember like those freaking webs that were all over that he was cutting his way through and shit? Yeah, that's what I was
where
thinking
they came from.
Yep. All right, weird shit number 2. The Great Moon Hoax of 1835, when America believed in moon unicorns and bat people.
Wait, they don't still?
I like this.
Okay.
In 1835, the New York Sun published a widely popular 6-part series claiming astronomers had discovered life on the moon, including bat-winged humanoids, 2-legged beavers, and unicorns grazing on lunar fields. The articles were presented as legitimate science, but were, in fact, satire. Readers didn't realize that. The country believed the moon was full of magical creatures until the paper finally admitted it was all a hoax. Before clickbait, before tabloids, before Florida Man, there was the Great Moon Hoax, a moment in history when Americans collectively said, yep, that seems real, and fully embraced the idea that the moon was basically a cosmic zoo. On August 25th, 1835, the New York Sun published the first of 6 articles claiming to reprint a scientific paper from the Edinburgh Journal of Science, written by a fictional astronomer named Dr. Andrew Grant, allegedly a colleague of the real astronomer Sir John Herschel. The articles detailed Herschel's supposed trip to South Africa, where he used a new, ultra-powerful telescope to observe the lunar surface, and what he allegedly found was, well, a lot. Unicorns galloping across moon meadows, 2-legged beavers living in little huts, glittering forests and sapphire blue rivers, furry winged humanoids that looked like bat people, landscapes covered in lush vegetation, entire lunar ecosystems thriving just beyond human reach. The Sun even provided vivid illustrations, giving readers a sort of 19th century National Geographic for celestial wilderness. People lost their minds. Newspaper sales skyrocketed. Crowds gathered in the streets, reading the articles aloud. Schools used them as teaching material. People debated which of the lunar species would be the friendliest to humans. Some wondered whether moon unicorns could be domesticated. This was the birth of the penny press, cheap newspapers that made money from massive circulation and sensational stories, and nothing sold better than flying moon people in the 1830s. There was just one tiny issue. None of it was real. Not the moon beavers, not the bat people, not Dr. Andrew Grant, and definitely not the telescope capable of seeing lunar creatures sunbathing on crater rims. The entire thing was satire, a jab at earlier scientific speculation about extraterrestrial life. But satire only works if people know it's satire. And 1835 America was not ready for that level of nuance.
No.
It took nearly a month for the newspaper to finally admit that it was all a hoax. But the legend never really died. Today, the Great Moon Hoax is remembered as one of the earliest mass media stunts, proof that humans have always been willing to believe wild stories, especially if they come with cool illustrations.
I want a unicorn.
Yeah. So,
I'll use it to defeat that spider.
right? My take. I love that people believe this. You tell someone in 1835 that the moon has unicorns and flying Batmen, and they're like, yeah, that tracks. Imagine living in a world where the biggest scientific discovery of your lifetime is basically a Lisa Frank sticker, pack in space.
Yes.
Also, the fact that the hoaxer used the phrase 2-legged beavers and nobody questioned it, that's how you know critical thinking wasn't invented yet. Honestly, the most unbelievable part isn't the moon unicorns, it's the idea that Americans once trusted newspapers. So, I mean, this is like War of the Worlds, which came years later. But
the problem is there's 2025 people who aren't ready for that kind of satire.
Oh, 100%.
So, I mean,
there's 25 people who just make shit up on their own. They don't even have to read something to believe it.
AI is very helpful with that.
Yes, it is. So if the moon did have unicorns, do you think NASA would have skipped the Apollo missions and sent horse trainers instead?
They certainly wouldn't tell us about it if it did.
That's very true. So what's harder to believe? Lunar bat people or the fact that a newspaper admitted that it lied?
The newspaper admitted that it lied.
100%. If a modern news outlet tried this today, would people debunk it instantly, or would someone start a Facebook group called Moonbat People Are Real? Spoiler? Yeah, they would.
There's already one. Are you kidding?
I'm sure that there probably freaking is one already. Okay, weird shit number 3. Victoria's Black Swan Inn, the wedding venue full of ghosts who never checked out.
Oh, somebody invite me to their wedding, please.
Victoria's Black Swan Inn is a 35-acre historic estate in San Antonio, Texas. Elegant, tree shaded, and popular for weddings. It's also one of the most notoriously haunted properties in the region. Built on the site of a bloody 1842 battle and later home to several prominent families whose spirits are said to remain, the inn is filled with reports of apparitions, shadows, disembodied voices, and possibly a cursed porcelain doll. Still want to go?
Never mind. Nope, I'm out.
At first glance, Victoria's Black Swan Inn looks like something out of a Southern romance novel. Sprawling grounds, towering century-old oaks, and a stately Greek revival home surrounded by lush acreage, ideal for weddings and photo shoots. But beneath the postcard perfect beauty lies a history stacked with violence, tragedy, generational hauntings, and so many ghosts that the living residents might as well start charging rent. The land itself is soaked in history. In 1842, decades before the manor existed, the Battle of Salado unfolded there. More than 60 Mexican soldiers were killed, making the ground a literal battlefield burial site long before anyone built a house, took wedding photos, or collected porcelain dolls. The inn was constructed in the mid to late 1800s and passed through several families, and nearly all of them, according to legend, still hang around in non-physical form. Over the years, the property served multiple purposes, including a working dairy farm. The barn behind the main home is considered the most paranormally active structure on the grounds. Footsteps, hushed conversations, full-bodied apparitions, and strange lights have been reported. Members of the Ripstein and Mahler families lived and died on the property. Many of them are said to still roam the estate. Later, sisters Catherine Holbrook and Blanche Woods moved in, bringing children and grandchildren. Catherine's husband died inside the home, and some believe he is among the spirits still pacing the hallways. Visitors and investigators frequently report a woman in Victorian dress gliding through bedrooms, children laughing in the hallways where no children are present, cold spots that move like someone brushing past, shadows darting near the barn, muffled voices whispering names, knocks and footsteps in empty rooms. The current owner, Joanne Rivera, lives on the property with her family, though the name Inn remains. It does not operate as a hotel, but Rivera does partner with local ghost tour groups and has welcomed paranormal teams for decades. And then there's the porcelain doll. Rivera is an avid collector, and one particular doll is rumored to be a paranormal anchor item. Multiple investigators claim the doll's presence corresponds with spikes in activity, objects moving on their own, sudden cold bursts, or overwhelming feelings of being watched from a child-sized height. Wedding guests have reported photos where translucent figures appear behind the bride. One couple insisted they heard someone whisper, "Don't," seconds before they said, "I do." Unclear whether ghostly advice applies to marriage decisions. Victoria Black Swan Inn is now considered one of the most haunted private homes in Texas, a place where the past refuses to stay in the past and where every creak might be something with opinions about the living. My take? Imagine booking your dream wedding venue and finding out half the guest list is dead. This place has everything: battlefield ghosts, family ghosts, barn ghosts, and a porcelain doll that probably wakes up at 3 a.m. to judge your life choices. Honestly, if you get married here and the lights flicker during your vows, that's not paranormal activity. That's the ghost placing bets on how long you'll last. And for real, any house with a barn that's the most haunted part automatically goes on my list of places I'm not visiting without holy water and a group discount. So,
I mean, the catering bill would probably be cheaper
if you're feeding ghosts, how does that work?
because they're really not eating.
Oh, this is true. So if a ghost interrupts your wedding vows, do you get a discount or just trauma?
Trauma. And maybe you should rethink your life choices.
Maybe you should. Why is it always a porcelain doll? Why can't haunted objects ever be something helpful like ghostly air fryer?
Question of my life. I was convinced for a while that you just threw the doll in there to see if I was paying attention.
Maybe so. But
Until the end,
it really was
they
there.
were talking about a doll, and I was like, okay, no, that's really there.
If the original battle ghosts are still there, do they get annoyed when people walk over their burial site wearing high heels and tuxedos?
I would think so.
I would think they probably do too.
Yeah. Don't stand there. That's what he meant by don't.
Right?
Don't stand there.
You're on my head.
It's rude.
So, you're going to love this next story.
Oh, I love them all.
You're really going to love this one.
Okay.
I love this one. Wojtek, the beer drinking bear who served as a Polish army private.
All right, then.
During World War II, Polish soldiers adopted a Syrian brown bear named Wojtek, who traveled with the 2nd Polish Corps, carried artillery shells during the Battle of Monte Cassino, wrestled with soldiers, drank beer, smoked cigarettes, and eventually became an enlisted private so he could legally travel with the unit. His story is one of the strangest, most heartwarming, and most unbelievable moments in military history.
I think I love him.
I told you were going to like this story. You know the story is going to be good when it starts with, so there was this bear in the army. Wojtek's life began in 1943 when a group of Polish soldiers encountered a Syrian brown bear cub whose mother had been killed by hunters. The soldiers, starving, exhausted, traumatized, and battered after escaping Soviet labor camps, took him in. He became their companion, their mascot, and eventually their brother in arms.
Their emotional support bear.
Wojtek was raised among soldiers, which meant he learned soldier things, wrestling, marching, riding in trucks, sneaking threats,
Tell me
sneaking treats, drinking beer, and eating cigarettes. He didn't smoke them. He literally ate them like snacks. He adored dates and would chase any soldier who passed with a top pocket full of them. He slept beside the men, he rode on their trucks, he followed commands, he shared their hardships and their fear. When the Polish Corps moved from the Middle East to Italy, they hit a snag. Army regulations did not allow animals as military passengers on transport ships. The solution? The soldiers enlisted him. Wojtek was officially registered as rank private. Name Wojtek. Unit 22nd Artillery Supply Company. Number actual military ID was issued. Once in Italy, during the brutal Battle of Monte Cassino, Allied soldiers watched in awe as the massive 6-foot-tall bear carried heavy artillery shells and crates of ammunition, doing the work of several men without fear. He became a symbol of morale, strength, and survival. The company even made him their official emblem, a bear carrying a shell. Soldiers later described Wojtek as gentle, playful, and loyal. For men who had lost homes, families, and futures, Wojtek became an anchor, someone who understood displacement and found family among those who saved him. When the war ended, the soldiers were demobilized. They couldn't return to Soviet-occupied Poland, so many settled in Britain. Wojtek was taken to the Edinburgh Zoo, where he lived from 1947 until his death in 1963. Veterans visited him for years. One Corporal Andrzej Gasior wept uncontrollably upon seeing him, the stoic Polish soldier who'd survived Serbian prison camps, frontline battles, and the brutality of war, undone by seeing his comrade once again. Today, Wojtek has statues, books, plays, and memorials honoring him, the bear who went to war and never forgot his brothers.
Dear Santa, one Wojtek, please.
No kidding. I mean, I had that friend that up in the Bighorns, he freaking domesticated a black bear. It was the strangest freaking thing.
This one sounds cooler.
So my take, this story has everything: trauma, survival, beer, cigarettes, and a giant bear casually working in artillery logistics like it's the world's strangest internship. Honestly, imagine being a German soldier in Monte Cassino, looking across the battlefield and thinking, is that a bear? Carrying ammunition? Wearing a uniform? This wasn't just a mascot. This dude was union labor. And the fact that he technically outranked at least 3 privates somewhere, chef's kiss. WashTech is the only coworker I've ever heard of who eats cigarettes and still performs better than everyone else on the shift.
Paid in dates.
Paid in dates. So if a bear can be a private in the Polish army, does that mean he had to pass a fitness test? Because I guarantee he did better than half the platoon.
I think he was the fitness test.
Right. Yeah. And he wrestled. So maybe that you have to wrestle the bear.
Fitness test.
So
Okay, go wrestle WashTech. If you lose, you can't be in our
right. Does the Geneva Convention cover do not wrestle the enlisted bear?
A little doubtful.
I mean, I love this story. I just freaking love it.
I need one.
If WashTech were alive today, would he run logistics for NATO or just run the whole alliance?
The whole alliance. Give enough dates. He'd do anything.
You know what I mean? We have this now really with German Shepherds. I mean, we've brought, and dogs have been present in wars for eons and eons, but they've really come out in full force. I mean, I think that the usefulness of them has, you know, I think it was displayed in like police departments and stuff for years and years, and finally the military was like, huh, maybe they're onto something. Yeah. But a bear, I mean, that's even scarier. If we can get bears out on the street chasing the bad guys instead of German Shepherds, that would be even better, because now it's like the dog will bite you, but if we could turn it into the bear will eat you.
Bear will eat you.
It would be a lot better.
I actually watched a body cam video the other day where they're like, dude, come out. This dog wants to bite you.
Oh, yeah. They're very clear. They're like,
to let go.
He is going to bite you. It is going to hurt bad. You are going to bleed.
Sitting there screaming at the TV, come out. I see the dog. He wants to bite you.
That's so freaking true. Okay, weird shit number 5, the severed leg in the grill.
No.
The finders keepers case. Oh, this one's freaking nuts. In one of the strangest property disputes in American history, a North Carolina man bought a used barbecue smoker at a storage unit auction and discovered a mummified human leg inside. The rightful owner wanted it back. The buyer insisted, finders keepers. The fight over the limb escalated into a national media circus, a Judge Mathis episode, and eventually a critically acclaimed documentary.
What? And I've never heard of it.
I hadn't either.
I feel let down.
It began the way all legendary weird stories begin, a storage unit auction. In 2007, Shannon Winsnott bought the contents of a defaulted storage locker in Maiden, North Carolina. Inside was a used barbecue smoker, a promising find for a man who loved grilling and backyard gatherings. But when he opened it, expecting charcoal residue or old ribs, he found something else, a human leg. A fully real, mummified, amputated human leg. The limb belonged to John Wood, who survived a 2004 airplane crash that tragically killed his father. Wood's leg was amputated due to injuries sustained in the wreck. Rather than disposing of it, he kept the preserved leg as a personal memorial to his father, storing it in the smoker inside his rented storage unit. Weird freaking place.
What?
Eventually, Wood fell behind on the payments. The unit went up for auction, and Shannon Winsnott unwittingly became the new owner of the grill, and the human remains inside. At first, Winsnott did the rational thing. He turned the leg over to police. But then things took a turn. Winsnott decided the leg was rightfully his. His argument? Finders keepers. Yes, he said it out loud, on television, multiple times. Winsnott planned to turn the leg into a roadside attraction, charging curious onlookers for the chance to see it. He began making local news rounds, giving interviews, marketing the grill like it was the Shroud of Turin. Meanwhile, Wood wanted his leg back. He considered it a sacred memorial and said he planned for it to be cremated with him one day. The police determined that Winsnott had relinquished any ownership claim by giving the leg to authorities in the first place. But because this is America, the conflict didn't end quietly. Instead, they took the fight to the Judge Mathis show. On national television, Judge Mathis, the only adult in the room, ruled in Wood's favor and ordered Wisnot to return the leg. However, Mathis also ordered Wood to reimburse him for the cost of the smoker. The bizarre saga caught national attention and was later chronicled in the acclaimed 2015 documentary Finders Keepers, which turned what seemed like a joke headline into a surprisingly deep story about grief, trauma, addiction, and the sometimes absurd ways people cope with loss and desperation. It remains one of the strangest legal mysteries in modern American folklore, a perfect blend of tragedy, absurdity, and very creative storage solutions. My take? This is peak American weirdness. Only in the US could you lose your leg, embalm it, store it in a grill, have someone else buy the grill, and then watch a custody battle unfold on daytime television. And the fact that Winsnett tried to turn the leg into a business, well, of course he did. The man saw human remains and thought, you know what this needs? A gift shop. It's like the world's saddest amusement park ride. Step right up, kids. See the amazing barbecue leg. Sir, no.
Note to self. Add Finders Keepers to watch list.
Right. I mean, I thought this was satire. I honestly did. I had to research it to prove that it wasn't.
Did you watch the documentary?
No, I did not.
Shall we?
But maybe we shall. So if you buy a used grill and it comes with a free human leg, is that a bargain or a curse?
Depends on, do you need it?
I mean, I got so many questions about this. So when I was a kid, 6th grade,
this is why I don't like to buy used things.
I had my tonsils taken out, right?
And you wanted them?
And I said, I want to keep my tonsils. And they were like, we are not legally allowed to do that. So they made me microscope slides with my tonsils, like slices of my tonsils. Yeah. And I still have those, but they were like, you cannot take your tonsils out of the hospital. It's not allowed by law. How did this guy get out of there with a freaking leg?
Exactly. That was the very first question I had.
I mean, it wasn't like this was in the 1800s. It was like 2004 or some shit like that. So how did he get the leg? I don't understand it.
I had to pay out the nose just to get my x-rays of my leg.
Right?
And that was even taken.
And then I buy a barbecue grill and it has any human body part in it. I am never using that grill ever again. It's going straight to the dump, probably with the leg. I mean, if the cops determine it isn't involved in a crime, I don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, like no.
I'm certainly not going to fight a legal battle to keep a hold of somebody else's leg. I mean, if dude was like, I want my leg back, I'd be like, yeah, come pick the freaking creepy ass thing up.
Take it off.
I want it out of here.
Leg, smoker, go.
So, which brings up, should finders keepers ever apply to body parts, or does that rule stop at sunglasses and spare change?
I'm pretty sure it should stop.
I'm pretty sure
if it's your
body part, it's yours forever.
Forever.
It's kind of like sex toys. Once yours, always yours.
Ever.
So, if your severed leg ends up on the Judge Mathis show, does that count as posthumous accomplishment?
Yes.
I think it does.
Yeah. He's famous now.
He ought to be.
He's a celebrity.
Right? But that's it. That's all I got for us tonight. Do you have anything to add?
On a severed leg.
On a severed leg in a smoker grill.
We have to hop around now.
Yeah.
Damn it.
That's how it works.
All right.
Do you have anything else to add?
I really don't, other than I am intending to watch that documentary.
You have to. All right, listeners. Well, thank you for joining us for another insane and fun episode of Dark Dialogue Shadow Chat Sessions. Be sure to give us a like, give us a follow, hit the thumbs up, hit the bell, and leave us a review, all the things.
Tell us what you would do with the leg.
Yeah, we're interested to hear. You can send all of that as well as case suggestions, kudos, critiques, anything you want to talk about to info@darkdialogue.com. You can check out all the rest of our shows. We have a whole plethora of them. You can find all of those at www.darkdialogue.com. If you like what we do and how we do it, you want to support the show, you can do that on Patreon, on Ko-fi, or on Substack, where you can get our newsletter and a whole bunch of behind the scenes information and good stuff like that. And if there's nothing else, I'm John.
And I'm Angela, and stay safe, everybody.
Have a great night.